Hey guys, Anthrax here. I'm going to be bringing you another video. This time it's not going to be on Madden 17. It's going to be on the Battlefield 1 open beta on Xbox. And I'm just going to be giving you my first impressions and thoughts about the game, tell you what I like, what I don't like, what's different, what's not different. So, the gameplay in the background is just going to be some sniping gameplay, just some highlights. I do snipe primarily in Battlefield and Call of Duty. I haven't been playing Call of Duty as too much lately, but I have been playing Battlefield a little bit more as the open beta just came out. So, we're just going to talk about what we like, what we don't like, and the first thing is the map. I actually really like the map that they have in the beta. I know it's just one map, so we can't really base the whole rest of the game off of it, but I really like the way the lane is portrayed. It's a really small, narrow map where a lot of the action is in the middle lane. You know, it's filled kind of in the middle, and there's a lot of outskirts to snipe at, like I'm sniping these guys up here that are sitting in them, and I go to them later in the video. But I just really like how the map isn't so big for its own good. I am playing Rush, so it does get further along as you go, so there's a few more sections that you can get to. We didn't quite get there on this game, we actually ended up losing, but I do like how it's not just a spread out huge map like some of the Battlefield 3 and 4 maps. Similar map design, I would say, to Hardline, but there's a lot less going on in there because it's supposed to be, World War I. There's a lot less buildings that were constructed in, Africa and Europe where they were fighting in the war, so I would assume there's probably going to be less maps with tons of buildings and sheds and stuff like the older versions of Battlefield, but the newer settings, if that makes sense. So, I mean, I like the map design. I like where they're going with the art a lot, actually, as well. Just that kind of throwback vibe. And just making it feel like a newer Battlefield. It actually doesn't play anything like I would compare to Hardline, Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3 even. I'd probably go back and say it plays maybe more like Battlefield 1943 when they remade that game. So it does feel different. It feels different in a good way. I missed that shot right there just because I actually switched my control scheme to lefty flipped, which is right trigger is zoom in and left trigger is shoot. I know it's weird, wanted to give myself a challenge. I think it ended up alright, but that's something to be aware of is the control schemes. I think they're a little bit different from past Battlefields. I haven't really checked up on what the control schemes are. I haven't really played in a few months, so I just noticed that it wasn't what I'm used to, so I just switched it up entirely. But, yeah, the guns seem to handle really nice. The feel of the sniper, this default sniper, feels really good. As you see, we lost here. 2 objectives out of 10. So I like the whole overall layout and everything, the whole spawning system. It kind of heavily looks like Battlefront. But it is a good game. I do like the gun physics. I've used the Assault and the Medic class as well. The guns feel realistic, they feel fluid, they don't feel clunky in any way. So I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with this game. There is a lot of potential. There is some stuff they could fix. I mean, I feel like every year in Battlefield the vehicles are just supreme, and I don't really... This year at least, I didn't really find a class that could combat them very well. I mean, support kind of worked, but not to the extent that it usually would. Since it is World War I, they don't really have the same kind of, heat-seeking missiles and all that kind of stuff, so... I don't know, I'm not a big fan of the vehicles, to be honest. Bit too overpowered in my opinion, like they are every year. I'm not a big fan of vehicle warfare, because whoever gets the lucky tank and no one can stop it, you're just racking in the kills, so... That's just my personal preference, though. Everything else about this game looks like it's going to be pretty good, shaping up to be a good game. Probably will be buying it at release day. Probably won't wait too much longer to pick it up. But if you guys are playing the beta, give me your thoughts. If you wanted to see more Battlefield videos that are maybe more skill-based gameplays rather than first impressions, then leave that in the comments as well. But anyway, I've been Anthrax, and I'm out. Peace.